That's indeed awesome. Thank you for sharing these pictures with us. You make it look so exciting and interesting as well. And of course, you're serving a greater purpose. And I'm sure that your heart would enjoy bliss of and serenity of all kinds when you do that. It's now time to ask Afreen a question. You're a student. You've got projects. You've got things to do. And you're also taking part in these kind of activities. And I think the most important question is not what you do, but why you do it. So let me ask you directly, Afreen, what inspires you? Why do you do all this?
Okay, honestly, I believe that social service, social work, it doesn't exactly need a reason why you need to do it. You should just be like happy to know that you're making you're making someone happy. You are you are benefiting someone's life without actually having any benefit to your own. Like, it just makes you happy. The satisfaction is immense. It's tremendous, and it's just simply too good.
So you're saying you don't have to have a material reason for that.
Yeah.
Just by doing it, the benefits just pour in.
Yeah, exactly.
It could be satisfaction, it could be happiness, it could be seeing a smile on someone's face.
Yeah.
It could be the feeling that you have that you've really made a difference.
Exactly,
I think that makes the effort worth it. Yeah. Seema, what is your take? Why do you do this? 45 different projects? Yeah. Why do you do this?
Well, it's the same reason as Afreen though, but there's this concept you need to understand that many people don't understand it, even adults. It's so sad to hear it's really sad to know that adults don't really pay attention to this. The thing is that God has made some people fortunate and some people less fortunate. So it's obvious that the ones who's more fortunate are supposed to serve the ones who are less fortunate.
True.
And when I initially started volunteering, it's only because it was during summer, and according to my mom, I'm supposed to do something very productive. So when I started initially, I was never really interested. And then I got in, and then it changed everything. It changed my personality, the way I look at other people. I was able to understand and look deep into problems that I never thought of. I mean, those simple thank yous. Like, there was once where I went to the hospital and I just spent like 5 minutes, and that time was like nothing to me. But the person, she held my hand and she said that this is something I'll never forget. You're the only sunshine in my life. And then you realize how much it means to other people.
True. And I think people are not doing this. People are staying away from these kind of projects. They're thoroughly missing out on something so profound and amazing. Dear viewers, I would like to spend the next few minutes discussing the topic: should youngsters volunteer at all? So when the promos of this program started going out, I interact a lot with my friends on Facebook, and I started getting inquiries. Why should they do volunteering? They're youngsters, they should focus on their studies and so on. I don't know whether you know about this. Every 3 seconds, a child in this world, in our world, dies because of hunger. Every 3 seconds. That's 1, 2, 3. One more child has died because of hunger, because of something that we can stop, because of something that we can avoid if we decide to lend a helping hand. Every 7 seconds, a child dies because he doesn't have access to clean drinking water. Yesterday, I'd taken my son to the mall. He wanted to buy a branded t-shirt because he was selected as a prefect, and he said, I wanted to buy one. So driving back, he was holding the cotton t-shirt in his hand, and I said, cotton comes from 99% of cotton comes from countries where children work as bonded laborers, almost as slaves in the farms. Many of us don't know that. And once these shirts are produced, they're branded and dyed and stitched in factories in third world countries, where again children work for close to 13 to 14 hours on paltry payments. So the question is, should children volunteer? Well, this is the world that they're going to inherit. And if you're comfortable with that, I don't think we should force them to. But if they are not, I think they definitely should take it up, because there's no one else. And I'm really happy because you said this, because at the end of the day, you can't sit back and say, why is God so cruel? Why has God created so much of inequality? Because God created us as well. And I think it's our responsibility. He was counting on us to make a difference. And I'm so happy that you people are going out of the way to do this. But I'm sure a lot of parents watching the show, a lot of teachers watching the show would have this question. 45 projects, you're going out on weekends and on working days, and you've got projects and examinations and marks and continuous and comprehensive CCE or something like that. So doesn't this take your time? Doesn't this take you away from academic achievement? So Afreen, what do you think?
It not really. I mean, it kind of actually, yeah, it does. Like, you know, mostly because for volunteering you need to devote yourself to, like, you know, social work and everything, and you know, sometimes you tend to forget about your studies. But then, you know, I believe that social work and everything should be left to times when you are completely free, when you know that you can like, you can cope up with your studies as well as like do social work as well. So like, yeah.
What you're saying, Afreen, is that your academic assignments
Yeah.
should not be left cold.
Exactly,
You should
yeah.
definitely
You should-
focus on
yeah,
them,
you should
and
focus
when you
on
have
them.
some spare time, of course you have spare time.
Yeah.
And that's when you should devote to.
Exactly. Yeah, we are we don't live in a village or anything. We live in the modern society. We don't have to, like, you know, wash the dishes or, you know, like, clean our wash our clothes and, you know, sweep the floor or anything. So we have so much of time. We can study. We can do social work. We can do so many things in that time. So yeah.
I think it's all about prioritizing and,
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
and making the best use of your free time.
Yeah.
You know, instead of social media and chit chatting and doing
Exactly,
so
yeah.
many, you know, not useless, so many not so value adding things. You can definitely look at things that make a difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your take on this?
Yeah,
Seema?
it's the same. You're supposed to prioritize. I mean, there are girls in my school, you know, who take part in like 15 competitions, and then they have stay backs and everything, yet they manage to score very well. So as long as you learn to prioritize, like for me, example, my parents are very strict. Since I'm a girl, I can't volunteer after 7 and everything. So even during when the school reopens and stuff, they made sure that my timetable does not clash, like my extra classes and my school hours. Like, I cannot leave school to go and do volunteering, but I do make time. I've divided my time equally for school, for family, for extra classes, and for social work, so it never really clashes.
True.
And social work, it's actually an obligation on every human being, no matter how much you have. I mean, people just think that, you know, volunteering is just donating, but
Okay.
it's much more than that.
True,
As
true.
you need to sacrifice your time, if you have resources, that too, but it's much more than that.
Very true. I'm so happy that you said it this way, because let's not send the wrong message. Dear viewers, we understand, and we definitely say that when your students and youngsters, your number one priority should of course be your academic assignments, your exams, your test scores, your projects, the job that you would take up, and the accolades that you'll win later on. I think you should definitely stay focused on that. But the question that we have is, will volunteering, spending some time on volunteering assignments, will it take you away from academic glory, or would that take you towards academic glory? We have got some interesting statistics coming up, and you'll be definitely happy to see that. But at the end of the day, these youngsters also realize that they have an obligation towards their parents and towards their own selves. And by doing well in life, you would be in a much better position to make a difference in this world as well. So now let's ask the question about teachers and parents, yeah, because their support is very important. How are your teachers? Like, many of your teachers are watching this show, so you'll be giving a politically correct answer, but try to make it as close to the truth. Do they really support you? Let's ask Afreen here.
Actually, our teachers have been really supportive of us. They've been encouraging us a lot, especially our supervisor, Mrs. Manju ma'am. She has tremendously supported both Saima and me. Like, she always encourages us, and you know, plus she always like puts up posters everywhere about Saima's volunteering like events and everything. So it compels other students to come and ask us about, you know, like, are there any other events that they can attend. And like, not only our supervisor, all the teachers, really all the teachers do help us.
Okay, you have a similar opinion?
Yeah, like when I entered 11th grade, and I mean, my supervisor Manju Charin, like, she's the best. I couldn't think of what would I do without her and her support. You know, there are times when I just walked into her office and I'm like, you know what, I want to make a difference. And even no matter how stupid it sounds to someone else, she'd always encourage me, and she always markets and promotes, and she always encourages our students, our friends, to come and join us. So they do go beyond from their side.
True, true. Good to hear that, because dear viewers, we have something very important to share with you, extremely important to share with you. I think this would be the most important part of today's session. Well, we all know that when you volunteer, when you spend your time and your resources, as you said, and of course your money, you end up making a difference in this world. But does volunteering help you? Okay, there are many of us who are quite spiritual, and we'll say, okay, seeing a smile on a child's face is rewarding enough. But there are many of us who might not be. They might be looking at tangible, materialistic returns for the time invested. So what I have for you is a short video clip. Okay, we spent quite a lot of time, thanks to my friends who gave me, who supported me with a lot of data on this.